Oi! You have something for me, Governor? Do we still converse with Gina? Oh yeah, we do. Last time we stopped here and didn't talk to Gina. About Gina. No, didn't we do this? It was 8 months ago, now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with the case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder. I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective? You got it. Good, innit? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh? Talk about a sea change. Sea change? No one is saying that ever. Only his eyes, old man, to think about. Iris's father, you mean? Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I would get get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him. Just a small promise then. Nothing serious.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet.
So anyway, that's our ad to God. It's so difficult to read her text. So anyway, that's how I come and add go at the test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem, nothing serious. Why are we repeating ourselves?
And that's when Hurley approached Grexy and asked for help. So the inspector said he would take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
That was very magnanimous of Inspector Grex and brave. What is magnanimous? What does that word try to convey, to describe? Without me looking it up.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words. So, the long and short of it is, if you got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Oh, what, Runo? What?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet, here she is still... Oi, come on! Yeah, they're not still on about that, are ya? The legend or the Reaper or whatever it's called. Why is she Scottish now? Cor, you don't have to worry, Otto. You know, it's actually easier to make her Scottish. if I didn't half worried, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. It's like I told you before, innit? The Reap is kind of all in upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. They ain't really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong might be stretching a point.
What about Mr. Sasuke in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. Exactly. So ain't worried. Totally fine. Yesterday's incident. God, I was at this word. It was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Then it just went pop. It ain't see a better experiment here yet. Sorry? Can you speak English?
You mean you saw it, Ginny, with your own eyes?
Yeah, with me especially, of course, the boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean. The boss, being Inspector GAAC, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to. Wow. So all I have to say is that I'm on my duty and I do whatever I want to do. Yes. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above.
No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too.
Yeah, do it. Just do it. You know, ought to put the boss in his place, alright, right, Iris? You'd have to no trouble at all.
Then it's settled. When do I start?
She's 10 years old. No. You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
Well, see, anyway, that I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bun Bun still be claiming that his experiment was a success?
She's a child. Yes, she is. Right. Well, it was a success in a way. It was? How can it have been? Successful experiment? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. As like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of smoke and what whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there. What? In the tower? So what you are basically telling me? So basically what you're telling me, the machine exploded and the explosion threw the guy through the glass of this crystal tower. Maybe, I guess. You can see for yourself, can't you? Up above the scaffold.
Oh, well, the glass is broken, you mean?
Yeah, the cage what the victim got in to start with. Really did get beamed through the air or whatever landed all the way over there. So yeah, see? It did kind of work, didn't it? Nani? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. I tell you what, you can't have this. It's a plan or the experiment they drew up at the yard. Are you sure? Yeah. Go on. I had 3 bob of ya before you so I had 3 bob of ya before, so's fair's fair. So's fair's fair. What? Whatever. Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? A sketch. What's 3 bob? That is a good question. You should ask Asla. I don't know. I honestly don't know because I only know quids. So my best assumption is that 3 bob is probably 3 shilling? No, it's not, dudes. It's money. She calls money, and some people call their money bobs. 3 dudes named Bob. In other words, it's a triple Bob combo. Or Bob Bombo, I guess. Let me look at it. A diagram showing the relative positions of the crystal tower and Professor Bunbun's machine that exploded. It also feels like, when you look at it and you don't see my actual cursor, so congratulations, but look at the tip of the machine. I feel like it pointed more, if you go with a straight line of course, it points further up than the actual window was broken. You know, it feels like it did like an arc shooting. About the investigation. Something Inspector GAAC said before seemed a little strange. What is your way, Washer? Is you will Hajama?
Yes, naughty old Grexy ran off after that without explaining himself.
Oh, right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate the weird machine what blew up yesterday.
Well, that's not fair. We are representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations? Nah, you're not getting it. Well, I ain't allowed to investigate neither. Why? What did the boss call him again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from the lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before. I thought I could have a gander on the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't ya? It's not leading fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all the chips what make him stubborn. Hi, Bob.
Well.
There we go. I'll say something to him, Otto. Go on, see if you can get through to him. He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is.
We can try, can't we, Bruno? Grexy will listen to us.
Okay. Make a save here. Can we actually do something? So there's still something here? So it's still here. Well, I guess we have to examine. And I guess this is going to be our first clue here.
Oh look, what's this? A ripped piece of cloth.
It's not like any fabric I've seen before. It's very thick and stiff. Looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion.
Let's make a note of it while Genie's mid-yarn.
Mid-yarn. Okay. Let's look at it. Torn piece of canvas-like material backed with rubber that was found under the experimentation stage at the exhibition grounds. There are scorch marks at the edges. Looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. But applying Mr. Sholmes' methods, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. Okay. This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what the policeman I just spoke to said.
Oh, sorry, girl, but I don't calculate in feet. I calculate in centipedes. Don't really understand feet very well. I agree. We don't use them in Japan. I agree. In Japan, you float.
Oh, yes, sorry, it's about 9 meters.
Well, thank you for actually using logical terms.
But soon you will have to be... what? But soon you will have been in London a year, Bruno. It's time you get used to our measurements.
No. Yes, well, this thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen a wall of nothing else. Seen a wall and nothing else.
They probably thought they would secure the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
Denied. There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. What? Because it's not lit up by the light in the lighthouse, I guess. I feel like it probably applies here. The Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall with all the glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. Tokyo Radio Tower. Tokyo skyscrapers.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
That is okay, Iris, since British people do love queues. They just see a queue and start to stand in the queue. Even if they don't know why the queue exists, they just queue. So much cliché. Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Suddenly it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower.
Apparently everyone's taking to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people. No, they are not. But you know what people are patient? Japanese. That's why they wait for 3 hours to eat in a restaurant. Hello there, Bitsu.
It looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just there.
Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded?
Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps.
Canadians are not that patient, but they will wait anyways. But you know, every person will become patient when they go to the hospital. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I hang on to this just in case. Yes, because look at the size of this contraption, which is basically half a leg high. We just take it and casually hide it in our pocket. Nope, hospitals are full, so often people do not become patient. But when they go into it, they become patient. Why are you emulating the Americans? Stop it. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should get up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Or you let me Okay, fine. Don't let me. To be honest, it looks like a giant megaphone. So that's it. So that's it, is it? Machine that blew up.
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course, Hurley is always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Now that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time, he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building.
How is the roof then still? Oh well, if he just made a hole into the roof, then that... okay.
I wish you would been there to see it, Bruno.
Why is she doing this? As if she's like, oh, I wish I could have been part of that explosion. It's like, what's wrong with you, Iris? Stop. It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live on the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
She is all there for the boom, like a pyromaniac for the explosions. Yes. Oh look, Inspector Greggs is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
Or we just don't talk to him, then he will not notice that we are there. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Bruno? I do wish I could go and see it. I'd present a particularly steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I'd written especially, and see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some Bartitsu master ninjas.
You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think. Oh, well that's dull. She just wants to make everybody explode and fight. Oh. But I do know a prosecutor with a John Mage top knot I could introduce you to. No. A true warmonger, yes.
A John Mage? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him, do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago? Maybe, yes.
What is this talk about me?
It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed, not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. something like that even possible though, Iris?
Oh, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I know?
Wow. She placed the child card. How rude. A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think you were... Ah, sure. 一起约我吧. That was practically instantaneous kinesis, the way you flew over just now, Grixie.
我就去不下，这就忘记看到这我爸去。
So sorry. You can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
Just like old times, this is. You know, it's probably not the best idea that I basically do not speak this guy. Because he's gonna be a prominent character in this case. Bet the tea is full of drugs that make your go explode. We are representing Professor Bun Bun in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene.
Hey, 李阳先生，为什么就把家鸡们？这把有什么的情况把一直爆爆？
Oh yeah, that special dispensation. Professor mentioned that too.
我的钱嘛，这个你什么背着玩的我知道吧？ But we are allowed to just look, aren't we? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Grexy?
He's broken.
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Runo?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Return to the infinite snack. Return of the infinite snack? Yeah. The infinite snack, yeah. Sadly. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Bun Bun was lucky to escape unscathed. Unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. He sounds like a Chinese person by this point. Oh, I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please spare a thought of your... Wait. So please spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think that this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims?
I just want kissing me. I just want, shishi. I just want kissing me while the police car. Course, I mean, also you could kiss it. Corey, she came up. Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think. Oh, let me... Imagine. Yeah. By accident I put a screwdriver there, so therefore the electricity caused an explosion instead of causing an explosion.
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle is in the shape of a capital letter A.
Capital letter A, just like the name.
My ass.
It is? Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, I understand, sorry. I only touched it a teeny weeny bit.
But Grexy, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Really very, very curious. But Bruno found it first.
It's gone off with it.
That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
I will be honest, if I wrote installment, I would use a double L. So therefore, this could be a grammar mistake. Maybe. Poor Grexy. What is that gigantic thing over there? Looks like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's the Ferris wheel. There will be people riding inside those little cabins you can see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery and make out in the cabin.
Wait, make out in the cabin? It's turning? But it looks completely still. Yes, it looks completely still. Look how the Ferris wheel is not moving one bit. Not one bit.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about half an hour.
That's a fast revolution if you ask me. Usually revolutions take more time. Oh, it's not this kind of revolution. I see. You were mad enough to go? If you were mad enough to go in one, it would be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Bruno.
Oh, the future is now. Okay, let's have a look further up. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the crystal tower. Look, they wrote towards. How you should. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they are shot out of that thing to wherever they are going. Oh shit. I missed my target with my disassembling machine. I guess the people are now going to be transported to Venus. I hope they can hold their breath. Which doesn't matter. If you get to the sunny side of Venus, you will be, well, turned to ash. And if you happen to be on the shadow side, you will be frozen.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Rona. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower, where they would be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course. Unless you put a metallic object into the machine where the electricity is fired at. Then again, the grate below the person is also metallic.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? I guess there's nothing more on the machine, so let's go to the flying balloons. So those are people carrying balloons dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought that the day would come when humans would discover how to fly. But I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful floating temari handballs. And then there's Demon Slayer. And yes, if you watch Demon Slayer, you'll understand.
I'm sure it must feel amazing, being up there, among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, Bruno, please.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it. But without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh well, in that case I should tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground as long as it doesn't explode.
Why? I could just cut the ropes, and then I would still fall towards the ground. Yes. Call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. I wonder how high the risk back then was for flying balloons to actually explode. And I wonder how high the risk is today, to be honest. It can't be high. Government policy. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extra common thing to attempt, especially in public. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. Yes, I suppose that's true in a way.
What sorts of rights?
I see now. I didn't understand a word you just said. 그대 말씀이 마 해지면이 코시미 뭐 이게 아야. 때문에 캐시미니 이즈면지. 내 그대 코시 뭐 guy. The forensic investigation team.
这边看的把去引大大的魔法学习没意义。看他把特别去被口述，安迪马是看的的。
It's impressive. I mean, he sounds like Chinese, but he's not Chinese.
Poor Grexy, he's very head up, isn't he?
Special dispensation. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we are not allowed to touch the scene here?
这边的去学习，啊，错的是看的么啥？
Yes, I think Hurley mentioned that recently, with a real twinkle in his eye as I remember.
好的是没害你是，哈达达有过着是么着是？好的是没你看的被你们心里真是马西西。好的比起哈的我的给你马去做我的位置里。
What does that really mean?
这个大厦，好的你，这我是有过的给你我是马啥？
You know, I got to watch it and again me. Money is a more kick. Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's also fun.
Me call me. What a gigana, he's my didamo.
看到把我，晓得我的给他。
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You what? Mama keen Majima. That she can't him and a curtain bush. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There would be no point. Yeah, okay. Table should be. What? The car is Gigi. I thought it could mention about the camera or Rachel. So it's the usual. If you grant people grants money for something, they will apply for it no matter how stupid it is. Yes, that is also a problem in science. And then you read articles like, and P still is filled with ammonia. It's like, wow, cool show. The scientists get funding? Wow.
这的吧，为什么你把头是不给的黑色怕？
You know who could add me? I was your mama Nima.
Kuba party. 这都吧，还这我啥？嘿，看天那是的。
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
Professor Bun Bun. Apparently, Professor Bun Bun lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. Enema, Kidepesh, Enemadi, Adargu. Bunch getting a waji, mate. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education, it turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord of Inseeks.
Yeah, at you what? You did me. It caught to PG. You two body category Bushima.
Sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another? kill me. I want to mini me. Also want to cut me. Take on one teeth. To be bar. Hey, you want? Did it?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, caught it. 어쭈. 아네, 그 모두 못 챙겨. 그렇게 하고. 이래? The mystery of the Reaper. The victim of this case, the investor,
My ass.
he was another of the Reaper's victims, so I heard. Yeah, the water I can't do ma. I do ma. It's a man Yes, I've heard about the jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? It was. Called it what it need. I know. Catch the key, my heart, and you just be get a call. Although the man himself denies that charge. Where to go, the fortification she may cottage body the red. And then what he could only take the coat he got to call ya. They caught it made. That he call it didn't war. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't just have coincidentally died if nobody killed them. They just stopped. They despawned.
He cut torture. He called money. It told me I could just more henny. To call the poor ye.
Professor Banban mentioned something else. He said that at the university, Lord Van Seeks was a totally different person, easygoing and kind. Tipo? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was?
Mina.
Really? Nee. God, it could she many of what he could kill me. Kita pachipa. This is more young Zemo. Edeme? Okay, so there's still something here? As a detective, what do you think, what do you make of this? Kushimane, J. Majal, J. George Cupboard Rayra. That is muttering, and I'm owing. It's actually a fair persuasive argument. Okay, says the same thing here. Wait, we actually didn't look at that. This literally looks like the other thing that is not a bow. There's some sort of lever here. Yep. What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. It's a bow gun. It's the precursor to Monster Hunter. I get it. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Turns out that it's a folding crossbow. Yeah, there it is, crossbow. Yeah. This groove here. The groove. Must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. So I was right, it's a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ears with the bowstrings 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have been beaten Kazuma in Kyudo archery training. Because that is currently your biggest problem, right? Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. Must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Maybe someone actually fired this from below into the cage when it was about to go down with the experiment. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Turning stuff in this is horrible. But I think we have all here. But let's present it to him. Okay. Fine. Okay. Can we go back down? Is there a possibility to go back down? I don't think there's still anything left for us to check out. What if we go to prison again and ask Dr. Bun Bun if we could, but apparently he's not even here anymore. The heck? I'm not entirely sure what to do. The Reaper. Okay, let's go through this. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up here. My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee the chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide off the mark sometimes. Oh. Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. Well, nice way to gaslight people. Good job. So, it's my fault? Silly me, how could I ever have thought otherwise? He doesn't even comment on that. Jeez. Lord Van Zeke's desk. Look, it's so stylish.
And that's a marble chess set beside it.
Chess. That's the Western version of Japanese shogi game, isn't it? Yes, except shogi is more interesting. You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh really? You would probably like chess problems in that case.
I would love to challenge Lord Van Zeke sometime. To a bout of shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home. Oh look, it's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground.
That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person.
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid. You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. I really didn't think he would overhear that. That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it?
It's a Lord Van Zeke's in his younger years, 2,743 years ago.
It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zeke's facial features.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Ah, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. And taller?
How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? Let me guess. It's his father, it's his brother, it's his sister. I don't know. Ah, they were bats. And then they were cats.
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary though, either way. Look at all those ancient casks lining the wall here.
Casks in the Reaper's chamber, or are they caskets?
You don't think? All those people who escaped the conviction in court are lying inside them? Dead? Do you? What a ridiculous notion are you going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages. Oh, yeah, of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Bruno and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot. Nonsense, I say. Lord Van Zeeks.
I think he's ignoring you, Bruno.
The prosecution and defense should avoid speaking outside of the courtroom as a rule. So if anyone is being rude here, it's most certainly the man in black there standing before us.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for settling the record straight. Did you see that? He spoke to me, Bruno.
Oh no, she's fangirling over Lord Van Zeeks. So, Lord Van Zeeks, have you managed to visit the Great Exhibition yet?
He's definitely ignoring you.
Right, no niceties either then. Niceties. What a word. Niceties. Okay, we cannot present here anything. Okay, in prison there's also nobody. I don't think we have anything here. Cannot present. We can examine, but why would we? The Lord Chief Justice, Amazing Dark Angels and Knuckles desk. You look at that, there's no mistake. Lord Strongheart, the amazing fifth angel of the fourth cousin's authority of the man's world, Cheese Justice and Knuckles authority is there.
But the light from that window behind is far too bright. It would be very bad for the eyes.
Would it now, Iris? You're basically telling me never go outside, because outside there's a lot of light. I haven't thought of that. There are no curtains, that's for sure.
What's more important, having a desk with an air of authority or having eyes that work?
I can't say I'd ever considered it. After all, my little office barely has any light to speak of, and I haven't really seen my desk in a while. You couldn't read all these books even if you were reincarnated 3 times over as a bookworm.
Oh, I know. So much reading material. I'm very envious. I've really been running out of things to read recently.
That's because you read so fast.
Perhaps little by little I could swap some of the books here with some of mine from home.
I like her thinking. I don't see why not. No one would notice, or at least I wouldn't, even if I was reincarnated 3 times over as a librarian. Librarian?
Oh, I just had a great idea.
What is it?
We could hide inside these suits of armor and spy on the Fob Watchmaster, to find out what he's really like.
I don't have much interest in what Lord Strongheart, the amazing third world country Superman and Knuckles is really like though.
Oh, please. It will be fun. You could be inside the left one and I'll go in the right.
You really want to have go in a suit of armor, don't you?
You're making fun of me because I'm a child, aren't you?
I wasn't making fun of you at all. I would like to have a go too. Cogs of a giant clock are keeping time as usual with a steady rhythmical motion. It's really quite disturbing how little sound they make considering their massive size. That's not disturbing. In any case, it is actually an amazing feat of engineering.
Someone very brilliant must have designed it, and whoever maintains it must be very talented too. But I'm not entirely convinced it's even a clock.
What? But what about the huge clock face and the forms? The window, and that forms the window over there.
Some people just make machines that move for the fun of it, because they enjoy watching them. Rather like how Hurley makes his rambling deductions just for the fun of it. Even if the outcome isn't quite right.
Never mind all the trouble it gets others into along the way. Yeah, there's nothing else here. Every time I look at that machine, I can't help thinking what a monstrosity it is. What's it called again?
The Great Analytiscope. It can analyze absolutely anything, you know.
Anything, even the Higgs boson. Boson? Or whatever it is called. It does seem incredible, and at the same time incredibly useless.
Ah, but it looks impressive, doesn't it?
So that makes it very useful. How does that make it useful?
Because it means you can pawn it for lots of money. The pawnbrokers always not make idle remarks like, "What an incredible looking machine." So Hurley often takes it to the pawn shop when he's a little short.
Sounds like this thing pulls its weight around here more than I realize by having its weight pulled around. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. Miss Susie wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess.
Susie might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare to touch those shelves.
Oh, why not?
Everything's in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, the whole lot would come tumbling down. Susie noticed it was a very delicate arrangement right from the outset.
You make it sound like a meeting of great You make it sound like a meeting of great minds. Hi, Bob. But the truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up.
Yum, yum, yum. One moment, please.
Okay. Ah yes, Mr. Sholmes' faithful musical companion. Wasn't this violin made by somebody famous?
Ah yes, it's a Stradivarius.
Hey, I'm reconnecting to my chat.
I'm afraid you would have to save up for 100 years before you could afford one ruler.
If I were to save up for 100 years, I wouldn't choose to buy a violin personally.
Oh? What would you buy then? My ass.
I really have no idea. I think I'll have to do it so I can find out. I love a good fire in the colder months. Watching the flames flicker and dancing about is just so very relaxing.
Cleaning out the chimney isn't so relaxing though.
No, getting covered in soot isn't my idea of fun.
Hurley decided he was going to clean it out himself last year. But you can guess what happened, can't you? He got himself stuck inside the flue.
He's a very slim man, I admit, but there are limits to where a fully grown man can fit.
Now, every time he dozes off by the fire, he has nightmares about it.
That's why you have dedicated people for cleaning that. All those different pieces of evidence from cases that Mr. Sholmes has solved are very interesting.
The trouble is Hurley forgets things so quickly. He never remembers why these things are so relevant. The other day, for example, he saw the orange pips that were there and decided to plant them in the garden.
Pips?
Yes, they have all sprouted now. We have 5 new little plants.
Oh, well, I didn't know what case they were from, but if Mr. Sholmes can get oranges to grow outside in England, he should change his profession. Ah yes, the huge metal chest with the lace cloth laid on it, being used as a table for tea and coffee. And coffee. It's very sturdy, that's for sure, and firmly locked shut.
That chest contains my father's detailed records of Hurley's many cases.
Yes, so I've been led to believe, though personally, I've never actually seen inside.
And that's the way it will stay. Those papers are a secret between Daddy and me. If you go opening it uninvited, you might find yourself being bitten.
What? Is there a beast inside there or something? Oh, Bruno. I look forward to finding out what aroma your tea will have, Iris, every single day.
Well, I infuse a different concoction of herbs from the garden every time, so it's never the same twice.
When you call it a concoction, it sounds more like a science experiment than something for tea time.
Oh yes, that's because different blends can have very different properties. Some calm down, some calm you down, some make you feel jolly, some give you energy. And sometimes I put batteries inside. Today's particular blend is something quite special, so you're really in for a treat.
That sounds ominous. Ah yes, this is where you note down your ideas, isn't it, Iris? What's in the melting pot today? The blue carbuncle.
Yes, it's from a case from Final Fantasy, of theft that Hurley solved ages ago. The theft of a precious stone. A carbuncle is another name for a garnet, you see, especially if it's cut with a rounded top.
Oh, really? And this garnet was blue, was it?
Well, that's the thing. They're usually red. No blue garnets have ever been discovered.
Oh. But here's a side info. Did you know that rubies come in all kinds of colors? When you think of a ruby, you probably think of a red ruby, but there are like rubies in other colors. Green, blue, and so on.
So, who knows what the stolen gemstone actually was? That's the real mystery of the case.
A proper Sherlock Holmes conundrum, huh? There are so many different bottles up there on that charming little set of white shelves.
Oh, do be careful, Rono. You mustn't try the contents of any of those bottles, even if you're hungry.
I wouldn't do something stupid like that. Not a child, you know.
Well, I wish I could say the same for Hurley. The other day, he polished off a full bottle of one of my alkaloids.
He what?
He said he was hungry.
I'll be extra careful.
I can type with my eyes shut, you know.
I can do that too. I usually type by not looking at the keyboard. I can believe it. When the deadline's approaching, you sound like a Gatling gun.
That reminds me of a dream I had the other day. It was such a funny one. It woke me actually. I was typing for a whole hour in the pitch black, but I didn't make a single mistake.
That's incredible.
But then, when it got light, I found there wasn't any paper in the machine.
Yeah, that sucks. The other point would also be, even if there was paper in the machine, she wouldn't really notice when the paper was done, and she would have to replace it with a new paper.
Now I wonder if I'd actually been typing at all.
I think you might just have fallen asleep on the job. Yeah. What to do? That's basically what I tried to figure out the last 10 minutes. 15.
I'm so excited about the prospect of Naruhodo's Anything Consultancy opening for business again.
That's not what it's called. It's Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. I've done a lot of studying these past 6 months, reading law texts and Judy precedents. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. I can't wait to start practicing again.
Nothing's changed in here at all, though, has it? It's as though time has stood still in here since Susie went back to Japan.
I wanted to keep it ready for Miss Susie in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I've just left everything the way it was.
Oh, I see, right? And there was me thinking it's because the way you are, Runo. You know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean.
Iris, this isn't the time or the place to bring up my tidiness, or lack of it. But I say it is. Huh? The office spade. Now that Miss Susie's gone, the shovelers aren't represented to correct me. Maybe I'll have to do it myself. That's not a spade, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel.
Ah, so you're a spader, are you, Runo? Are you a spader, man? What, you want to battle it out?
Alright, I'm not going to argue with a native English speaker who has some kind of gun.
Spader-man, Spader-man.
The kettle's simmering away there on the top of the stove as usual. It was kind of Miss Susie to send that Japanese tea. You really like it, don't you, Iris? But for me, it's the sound of the stove and the burbling kettle I like the most. On biting winter mornings.
And it feels even cozier in here. And it feels even cozier in here when the delightful Iris pours the tea for me. I really couldn't manage without that wonderful young girl. Oh, Runo, it's so sweet of you to say so.
Stop putting words in my mouth, please, Iris. Miss Susie's tea set that she left here with me. I still think green tea is just too bitter though. Thank goodness for sugar and milk. And here's a funny fact, because green tea and especially matcha became more famous around the world when people actually go to Japan, where they are presented with green tea and matcha there, they are like shocked because it's like a lot more bitter they used to. Because usually outside of Japan, a lot of people mix green tea with milk or sugar and both. But it also depends on the quality of the green tea. Like very high quality matcha and green tea are actually not as bitter as you would think. Some matcha even can be sweet. Mr. Sholmes certainly wasn't expecting that acrid taste that one time. I've never heard anyone let out a scream like that before, or seen anyone fall down the stairs quite like that either. Wow. It always brings a smile to my lips when I'm feeling a little down.
Oh well, do you know what that reminds me of? The day I gave you some black coffee when you weren't expecting it.
You fell all the way down the stairs as well, didn't you, Runa? What is this? I imagine that someone is drinking something they didn't expect and they didn't like the taste, and then they like literally run to the next staircase they can find and then fall down it. Why? Also, don't do that. Yeah. Do you think we could try to forget that, please, Iris? That doesn't bring a smile to my lips at all. Now, at first glance, my desk here might look as though it's a mess. However, it's not a mess at all. Everything is exactly where I want it to be. But whenever Miss Susie looked at it, she would put her hands on her hips and say, "Oh dear." A way of saying that I should make it more orderly and neat mess. I miss that.
You sound just like Hurley, you know. He says the same about his mess.
It's kind of logic that transcends international borders, obviously. Yeah, but that's it. The thing, right? Everybody has their own way of tidy things up and have their personal chaos. It's Miss Susie's desk. I suppose it won't get used now that she's gone back to Japan. It will just have to wait here patiently for its old friend to return. Even now, I sometimes find myself pouring a cup of tea for Susie by mistake. Wow, that explains why I sometimes find a steaming cup on her desk here. It shocks me every time. But it's just one of your pranks, I see.
It's no prank. I miss her.
True. Look at the prawns and the anemones gently swaying around in the tank. Regular cleaning, some food and fresh seawater is all they need, and some conversation, of course. It seemed like a lot of effort at first, but it was worth it. I'm starting to be able to tell what they are thinking. Funny to think that so many people in London had aquariums like this once, when they were in vogue. You'd never expect to find sea anemones in the middle of the capital. I think I'll have to name them soon.
Oh no, Runa. Oh no, Runa's disappeared.
What?
I expect he's been eaten by Hurley.
I think I would prefer if you used your imagination more when naming sea life.
Vor in your Ace Attorney.
I never did see what Miss Susie's room looks like. I could go in now, of course, but I don't dare. They say a young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets. Although, from the laughter I used to hear when you would visit, I imagine it's mainly sweet.
Oh, we used to have such fun in Susie's room. She told me all sorts of interesting things about your country, you know.
Okay. Iris, have a look. Have a look at this.
That's not right. I thought you were supposed to say objection. Or like when you present evidence.
No, that's only in court.
That's not fair. If you won't say it, then I won't look.
Objection!
Yay, that was great. Right, next.
Alright, I get the message. Someone's not in the mood for looking at things. Okay, I expect fully that she is not going to tell anything about those things.
Objection!
Oh, God. I wish I had an indication if I can show it or not and not go through the same text a million times. Here we go again.
Objection!
And don't worry, we do it again. Iris, about this paper.
Oh yes, it's all about the great exhibition. I'm so excited about it. Once you've done what you need to do, we should all go together and explore.
I don't know, it sounds like it could be quite dangerous. We wouldn't want to get caught in an explosion as we were walking around in the showground.
Oh, is that what you think's going to happen, is it?
Okay, that was not very useful. I don't know what to do. It's like the game still has somewhere. Like, I want to go back to the exhibition, but below the actual show stage. I just don't know how. Do I literally just move back? And it places me back down, I guess. Maybe it does. Because we actually didn't really look here. That's where the cove ended up after is instant kinesis or... Oh, that's Gina, I'm sorry. That's where the cove ended up after is instant kinesis or whatever they call it. Did, of course. And yet they are calling the experiment a success.
What's the wooden scaffold there for?
The corpus lads set up that after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Do you know really? Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah, look at do this more my thing, wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. Mind Gregs doesn't hear you saying that, or he will give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? Yay.
Runo, listen.
What? What is it?
I've been thinking.
No, don't think. No. Iris, we have now established that thinking is a bad thing.
Hurley might know something, mightn't he?
Nobody says mightn't he. About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? Because it sounds like very significant. It sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life.
Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment.
That's not what she said, but whatever. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
Madame Tuspels. What is this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tuspels. Madame Tuspels. Madame Two Kinds. Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't... you don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
I know, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Runo.
Madame Two Kinds. I don't see how it could be related to the case we are investigating here, but then... Stranger things have happened. Stranger Things. By the way, Stranger Things, the final season, has been concluded with filming. Now we just wait for its actual release. I will be interested to watch it. And when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. So I can go? Yep. Stop with that. Madame Two Kinds Museum of Waxworks. Well, either you find very lifelike wax figures or very smooth legs. I guess it's related because... Maybe it's related because they actually put a wax figure into the cage and the electricity melted the wax, making it look like the person was transported. What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. But why are the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. I know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Bruno? Shocked?
Wax models? Yeah! I read about the dead bodies and wax wands in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending how your corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax, apparently. It's called adipocere. What is this word? Adipocery? Adipocery. Is it pronounced like that? Adipocere. Yeah, well, okay, that does exist, but it doesn't turn an entire body into wax. Adipocere is basically like when some wax is basically forming on dead bodies.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Bruno. You're scaring me. Anyway, adipocere doesn't form like.
Yeah!
What now?
I've just remembered something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on display. Rona, this is not the Wax House movie.
None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
Not even the pizza. No way. Can't be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh?
There's no way anybody could make models of people that are this realistic. Except for him. I like how he actually doubts that. But I get it. He never seen it before. It's the same thing when artists actually can draw in such a photorealistic way that you actually believe it's a photo. I call that very impressive. It's like that is something worthwhile to practice for. And there are such gruesome scenes. Wait.
What is it?
Oh, no. I must be seeing things. Jesus. Oh no. That means we are going to talk to Madame Two Kinds at some point.